Real sushi was a luxury reserved only for the elite, since most sea life had become radioactive after the Third Terran War. The rest of us had to eat new sushi, soya mixed with off-world lichen. McCoy, LPD, I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, my man. I just don't got the time.
You're a pretty smart-looking cat. You want to make some money?
Pay me large, you got my rapt attention.
Depends on how much the information's worth.
Unfortunately, my man, I got a bug.
Got to mix more out back.
Dynamite dining, old man. Catch you later.
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week.
Beautiful night, isn't it?
When business thriving, night always beautiful.
This girl ever eat around here?
Nah, all gaijin look like the old man.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
This from your place, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You do Huawei favor? Distribute all through our police station?
How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin? Just month. Superior chef. Makes all kinds of new sushi.
What's real fresh tonight?
Special shipment of Toro just arrived. I fix you right up. No one else. Clean as a whistle.
You're Prince, Howie. Howie says you're a master chef.
You not come back here. Air bad.
This'll only take a minute. You know this girl or not?
Nope. I know who I know, and who I don't know. I don't know her.
Think hard.
Okay. Maybe seen her once. At station. Riding north on bullet train.
North, huh? Lightning Squad, Rep Unit, Battle of the Gemini. I'd retired a war hero, someone who'd fought for the freedom of the off-world colonists. The poor guy kind of reminded me of one of those Buffalo Soldiers, blacks who had killed and died for America, yet weren't allowed to drink alongside whites. And maybe, just maybe, the photograph validated his own existence. I've gotten all I can from that.
Chill it, man. Just took a wrong turn back there, that's all.
Take your business elsewhere.
An excellent idea.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moon bus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
How many reps we talking about?
Enough. They're Nexus 6s, so don't take too much slack.
Gotcha.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
You ever retire a human, your career is over. Remember that.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner.
Who's the best dog in the whole world?
Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed.
I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath. My wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told my wrath. My wrath did grow.
Crank calls were a dime a dozen in this city, and I'd had my share. Still, this guy sounded more like an English teacher than the average scumbag. If I'd been more awake, the message might have spooked me. Erase and reset. Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Oh, yes, right. Hold on.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? When I say... Oh!
Please, can you control your rat?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred chihuahua, and he's totally real.
Things going good at Tyrell Corporation?
Boring, boring. Old man Tyrell's been on a Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on Nexus 6? And your test studies, contacts, the works?
Only simulator! Extra terrestrial gravity.
One more minute, you be swallowing this explosive. 3 more minutes, They be hosing you off the True Life building across town.
No, I swear. I don't have anything. If I did, I'd give it to you.
My people sick and dying. You tell me something.
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers, Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance. They're closer to him than I am.
Where?
DNA Row. They're all working down on DNA Row. No.
You one miserable package, man.
No, please, don't.
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Oh, very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry. I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
That's right. But we also got a sweet little break on it. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
Maggie, come here, girl. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Your floor number, please.
Roof.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grab test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduler ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
One more thing.
I've told you everything I know, Detective. I gotta work. These monitors don't watch themselves.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Jesus.
I seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. This earring yours?
Maybe it belongs to that other cop who was up here. The babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. If you spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates? Eisenduller had used his dog's name as a password. The Tyrell brass wouldn't be too happy if they knew I was snagging a copy of their files, but someone had wanted them bad enough to kill Eisenduller, so I figured they must be worth having.
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the moon bus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
You friendly with Eisenduller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grav Test Chief Engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisenduller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know, offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security's tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisenduller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees.